Willie, this is it. We're here at Old Trafford. It's the big week of build-up before the big game. How does it feel to be here?
Yeah, really exciting. We've got to embrace this opportunity. It doesn't come around too often. Players have worked extremely hard to be in the position that they are. The staff have worked hard, and we've got a loyal fan base that's been with us, throughout the whole journey. So, we're excited. But as the week unfolds, it's going to be business as usual, and we need to approach the game like we normally would.
I guess that's the thing, isn't it? You've had a regular season where you won plenty of games. You've had a really tough playoff game that you came through, and that's another win on the kind of score sheet, so to speak. But this is the one, isn't it? You don't want to fall at the final hurdle.
Yeah, obviously this is the main one. This is the one that we've got to get right. So, it's. We need to not worry about external things and outcomes. We need to just worry about, I know it's cliche, but it's true, you need to worry about process, you need to worry about being consistent with your prep and getting that right, and then taking that into the game, and then that'll give us a good opportunity to start well. I think it's important that both teams will be looking to start well, and I think the team that settles the quickest will probably go on to win the game. And I think we did that well last week.
You sort of touched on it already, but that balancing act between embracing everything that's coming this week and enjoying it, because it's a privilege of being part of such a big game, isn't it? But not letting it override the mission. How difficult is that?
Yeah, I mean, as professionals, you need to handle that. I know it's new to some people, but I think it's important that you embrace, to be able to come here and do this today in this stadium, and then we're going to have a fan day. It's a little bit different prep, but then when you are training, and then from Wednesday onwards, it's pretty similar. Obviously, we're going to go. We'll stay in Manchester the night before, but we've done that previously. So, there's a lot of there's some things in the week that's different. But as I say, you embrace it because it's a special week. It's a privilege to be doing what we're doing. So it's an opportunity to enjoy it. But as I said, then we'll know what we're here to do.
You've got players in your squad like Ryan Hall, who possibly got enough rings for his fingers and his toes, and he's been here and done it, isn't it? But there are a lot of players who haven't been in this position. Naivety is probably the wrong word, but can those players who haven't had that experience before almost have a fearlessness to it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it can go either way, there's no doubt, but I think if you overthink things, that can get the better of you. So when you don't overthink something and you just go out and do what you normally do, good things will happen, and that's the approach that they need. They need to just go out and be themselves. We play a certain style, and we play with discipline, and they need to keep doing that this weekend. It's nothing changes. We're playing in a beautiful stadium with more people, but nothing changes in terms of the way that we want to play our game.
Friday night was a special night, wasn't it, at Craven Park? Were you able to enjoy that? Were you as a group able to enjoy that game?
I didn't enjoy it for 80 minutes, I'd say. Look, afterwards, singing the team song was really enjoyable. And the weekend, obviously seeing the city and the supporters, how happy they were. But that's it now. It's a new week. We're focused on the big one this week, and that's our narrow focus now.
Was it good to get a game of that magnitude in your system, so to speak, knowing that you've got this one coming up?
Yeah, look, we've had some tough games now for weeks. We've played all the top teams. The back end of the year, we had the hardest run home, so we deserve to be here. There's no doubt. I think that gets you battle hardened. We had the week off, which certainly helped us freshen the players up. So for me, having a game like we had against Warrington will put us in good stead for this week, because we know what this game's going to be like. It's going to be set for set, end to end, and we know that we can do it because we've done it now for a long period of time.
You've obviously got some players coming back into the fold in the shape of, particularly your captain, Elliot Minchella. Does that give you some tough calls to make? Because in his absence, players have stepped up and some players have come in and they might not feature. Does that give you some headaches going into this one? Yeah,
there's always headaches when you've got a selected team, especially when we're pretty much full strength. But obviously Elliot comes back in the team, he's our captain, so he's very, very important in what we've done all season, and he's earned the right to be in our 13 and our captain, and he got our Player of the Year award, so he'll come back into the team.
Yeah, in terms of your other personnel, do you get any other sort of bonuses that you're thinking they could be available or they could be available?
Yeah, pretty much we'll have majority of the team available, and there's going to be a lot of headaches involved in that. But whoever doesn't play has played an important part to get us here. It is a squad. It's even guys that haven't played first team this year, they've helped prepare the first team the way they train. So we're a squad, and we train a certain way. And the players that haven't played first team know that they've got a responsibility to help the first team, but they've also got to develop. They're developing themselves, and they're on show every week at training against the first team, showing what they're about. So, we're still working on getting that reserve system right. Trying to play every week. It's difficult for players. Development's the most important thing for players. But when they're training against the first team, then pretty much that's their game.
What kind of influence, or if any, will the results or the experiences that you've had against Wigan have on how things play out on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a new game, so it's always depending. Again, starts are important, but we like to think that we played a game last time that we know. How to beat Wigan. It's pretty much we need to keep control for long periods of the game, which we hand that over to them, and then once they've got momentum, it is difficult to get back. So it's when we've got momentum, we need to keep it and not hand it back.
Was it a bit ominous watching their game on Saturday? I mean, I know you back your team to the hilt, and quite rightly, but was there a little bit of you going, look at these?
Look, not really. I mean, Lee was similar to us last year. It was probably one game too many. We played Wigan; they did the same job to us. So, Wigan's Wigan, and we know that they're capable of that performance. They did it to us this year in the Challenge Cup. So, I respect that, but I also know that how far we've come since we played in the Challenge Cup, and you only had to look at 4 weeks ago when we played them and how far we have come.
I guess it's one of those where people will be talking, well, how do you stop having French? But I mean, the minute you try and do that, you forget about all the other threats, don't you? So you have to sort of take them on as the unit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a system that we have with our defensive. The way we defend, and if we stick to that system, then we'll be okay. Now, look, Bevan's chip and chases and all that sort of stuff, that could happen at any time. You need to have a plan around it. You need to react and do your best. That's pretty much what you need to do. But you can't stop against Wigan. You just can't stop. So we know what's coming, but again, we need to make sure that our system holds up.
And I guess, and from your perspective, I mean, you've got a team that finished second and put a very good Warrington team away. So, they're going to be thinking about your threats as much as anyone. You're going to be thinking about theirs. Yeah,
of course they are. I mean, we've had some really tough games against them. Except for that Challenge Cup, so they know what we're capable of, and there's a mutual respect. There's no doubt about that. But similar, I'm sure they're focused on themselves. We always worry about us getting ourselves right. If we do that, then we'll be okay. We've done that all year, and we'll put ourselves in the position to the back end of the game.
These are going to be special occasions for people like, I think in particular, people like Dean Hadley and those kind of unsung heroes. I know they're very much sung within your ranks, but the likes of a James Batchelor, a Dean Hadley, those people who've grafted their careers and maybe not had those big days out. And this is a great time for them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, someone like Dean's a Manchester United supporter. He's fanatical, So for him to play on this, this pitch is special for him. But mate, what he's done for us, whether he's played prop, loose forwards, second row, made 59 tackles in the weekend. He's a player that others love playing with. Batches are the same, and obviously Minnie's our captain. So, those three, when they're in the dressing room and I look around, I see those three. I'm pretty comfortable that we're going to be okay today. So, obviously we're playing a team that's full of superstars and full of great players as well, which is going to make an exciting game.
There's obviously a couple of farewells at the big end of the campaign, isn't there? And I know, speaking to Matt Parcell after the game on Friday, he was like, I came into this league and I got to play in a grand final, and I'm coming out of this league and I'm getting to play in a grand final. And those little narratives are lovely, aren't they, really? The heartstring tuggers.
Yeah, it's cool. Very, very cool. I mean, Matty's, he's been great for us this year. The way that he's handled himself, and the way that he's worked himself back into the team, and he's on top of his game. So I'd love to see Matty go to a winner. I'd love to see Ryan Hall go to a winner. There's a few guys. Matty Staunton's obviously going to another club next year. So, we've got players leaving, but it'll be great to be able to send them out, the right way.
And this sort of venue, as we've seen when he made his England debut, as we saw in big Challenge Cup ties, this is the sort of stage that you're almost excited about seeing Mikey Lewis playing on this surface and this occasion with the lights. He seems to rise with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. I mean, he's got to. He wouldn't have been happy or overly happy with his game last week, so he needs to improve on that. But he's been outstanding for us all season, and you're right. Like these, the big occasions, you want your big players to step up. And he's still only young, Mick, but he's certainly a massive part to our team and what we do, and he's proven that all season. So, looking forward to him to be able to show what Mikey Lewis is about again.
I don't want to go through your whole team because I've already keeping you enough of your time. But this time last year, Kalepi Tanganoa and Jai Whitbread were sort of being relegated, and sort of thinking, this hasn't been a great year, and they've completely flipped it, and they've been really big parts, haven't they? And that's almost like it just shows that just because you sign a player from a relegated club, they don't come with a relegated club mentality.
Yeah, no, they. We saw a lot of positives in the way they played. I mean, obviously, Kalepi's a powerful player, and Jai's a worker. So we saw those traits in them and thought, we needed a little bit more leg speed on the edge, and Jai's, we wanted that extra worker in the middle. But there's no doubt, they probably struggled initially with our training and our loads and that type of thing. We had to be smart with them. They both had some minor injuries in the pre-seasons, which comes with increasing intensity and all that sort of stuff. So, but they're certainly, they've played nearly every game, both of them. It's the most Kalepi's played in his career. So, we're proud of that. We're proud of what he's done to get his body right. And obviously Jai, he played massive minutes last week and has helped us the last 2 weeks when Minnie's been out. So he's a player that you can trust.
How proud are you to be representing that east side of the city in this venue where there's going to be a massive contingent of fans, aren't there?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud. I mean, I'm proud of the whole club, staff, players, fan base. To be head coach of this club's an honour. We've given ourselves a chance to be that first team outside the four to be able to win the silverware. So, I'm very confident with the team and the staff that we've got that we're going to give it a good shake.
Yeah, seeing the fans and hearing about them queuing up for tickets and hearing about them buying them on the way home from the game on Friday night. I mean, they've already, I think, sold out this section, haven't they? And I think they're trying to squirrel some more tickets.
Yeah, and they will, and they'll find a way to get more in, and that's why we love them. It's biased, but they're the best in the league, and they'll prove that again on the weekend. And we want them to get behind us again because the players certainly lift. They lifted on Friday night. There'll be times that the players are going to be struggling, but when they hear that crowd and getting behind them, they certainly lift.
I guess there's no more bigger fan than Neil Hudgell, and the fact he'll get to come here in his finery and take his place in the box and watch his team play. Yeah. That must be great from your perspective. Everything the relationship you've built and the coexistence that you have with him and the rest of the board, that must be really something else that really kind of you're very proud.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no one more that we want to do it for than Neil. There's no doubt about that. There's so many people that that we want to win this game for. With our fan base and obviously family and a big part of players' whys and my why. But at the end of the day, Neil Hudgell's the one that's put a lot of money into this club. He's put a lot of time, effort. He's I know there's times there he was going to walk away, but being Neil Hudgell, he dug in, and now he's going to hopefully get the rewards this week. And it's a game that we want to win for a lot of people, but no more than Neil.
And just for yourself. I mean, it's your old club, isn't it? I mean, the irony.
Yeah, it is. But now there's a real healthy rivalry between the two. There's a lot of respect there. They're a great club, we know that. But if you're worried too much about what Wigan do, you get caught up in all that. So I know what we've got. I know what players I've got, and it's going to be a good game on Saturday night.
Are there going to be any sort of people you're going to get in to speak or sort of deliver speeches or any that kind of thing?
No, we'll keep it in house again. We've done that all year. The players are the ones that have delivered it. The staff have helped deliver that, so we'll keep it internal.